this is a different setup. As you can see, it's more casual. I think I just need things to be casual sometimes. Almost like not too structured, or rather, maybe that's the wrong word, but I like when things just flow. When there's an effortlessness in the video where it doesn't have to be edited, or like this art project or this project. Sometimes I prefer videos to be simple as a reflection of life not needing to look a certain way. And I think that's what steers me away from social media sometimes, because it emphasizes life to look a certain way without it being just is. And I sometimes want my videos to just, the reason I sit down and talk to the camera is because I just want it to be simple sometimes. I just want to share my thoughts, and that I don't always just want to paint a certain picture to get my thoughts across. And I want to give myself permission to just be. That's another thing. I just want to give myself permission. So I want more of us to do that. To allow ourselves to just be. I thank myself for allowing myself to capture moments right now with my phone. My life is too precious right now. It's beautiful in so many ways not to capture it, not to store it, so that I can look back at these beautiful memories. And the more I think and navigate my life on a frequency of gratitude and appreciation for what it is now, the more or less of a burden life feels like. Less of a burden, because I'm allowing myself to do what my heart is telling me to do, regardless of how it looks like. For a long time, I delayed the process of creation because I didn't have these tools at hand. And now, I'm just allowing myself to be grateful for what God has given me, all the resources that I do have, and showing my gratitude by using these resources at my disposal. And it's got me thinking about how I want to take that realization and hold on to it in different areas of my life. I've been quite stubborn the last several weeks, especially with my career. I can admit that and own that shadow part of me that's stubborn. It's like you can't even see my face. It's fun though. It feels like it feels more powerful to hold a mic. And yeah, I've been stubborn, and I feel like in a way it's prohibited me from showing gratitude to the opportunities I do have right now. And sometimes I forget, this life is constantly forgetting and remembering. Sometimes we fall back into these behaviors that are not healthy for us, that are not serving us, and sometimes we think we know what's best. Sometimes we make a decision, we make a choice, and we think, okay, like, I'm looking out for myself. This is what I'm called to do, or this is what's serving me. I feel like I'm in control now of my life because of this action, or because I'm doing this thing. Like, oh, I'm in control now. Sometimes we think that what we're doing is allowing ourselves to take the reins of our life, allowing us to be back on the passenger seat or the driver's seat. Or in fact, sometimes we may be wrong with the decisions that are meant for us. We may be actually wrong. We may think we're doing something that's serving us, behaving a certain way that's serving us, to try to regain control of life. But in actuality, we may be wrong. Is this what I'm trying to emphasize? It's we don't always make the decisions that are, we may be making decisions that are hurting us more than benefiting us, and we may not realize that. I've done this many times, and I don't want to scare myself. I feel like I've been scaring myself the last several weeks with being in my own way, thinking that I'm gaining control, but I'm actually in my own way. And it's scary because I don't want to lose. I never want to lose what's important for me, or forget, or I always want to believe that I'm doing the right thing for myself, the best thing for myself. And I've been wrong many times, where I fall back into the same stubbornness, thinking that I know what's best for me. But I'm wrong sometimes, and I'm realizing sometimes we'll realize that. Sometimes I think we'll realize, oh, like actually I was wrong. This decision, not to label anything as right or wrong, but it just didn't serve me. Like sometimes I'll be, in a way, like I'm realizing sometimes we make decisions that aren't, we think we just may be not correct. We realize it's up to us to make a different choice. Like we may not have the answers right now, but I think we're all just trying to make the choices that we think is going to help us at every given moment. We think it'll serve us, but we fall down a lot. And then we remember to get up and continue. It's just continuous falling and getting up again in life. And I always want to make sure I'm doing the right thing for myself. And that's my only concern, is, am I doing the right thing for myself? Is this what I want at the moment? But it's gray. It's really gray as well. All these decisions and choices we make, there's no black or white answer. It's just a gray area. We just take that and see that, okay, this is the answer. Or the opportunities we do have, it may not be preferred or ideal, but I think it's also important to show gratitude in what we do have, to what we are given. You know, I'm trying to expand my experience in the career sector of my life. I'm embarking on a new change in my career, a little bit of a change. I hope it's the change I want to see. And so I think what we have to do is look at our desires of life and see, okay, how can I get to where I want to go? Or how can I act in ways that are aligned to that desired reality? How can I tune into that desired reality now? So I think this whole video, it's really out of very sudden for me, but I just needed to share the importance of not getting in our own way. And it goes back to how I'm making videos now. I'm just allowing myself to not miss out on capturing the beauty of my life now just because I don't have these tools. And I'm so as time goes on, as more time goes on, I think as time goes on, I see how I'm just so appreciative of me just doing it anyway. And I think this Aries, all these planets going into Aries can teach us, just start it. Just start that project, start that creation, start that idea. And I want to hopefully encourage people just to start, just to do it. No matter how it comes out. But just knowing that you can look back and be like, oh, I still did it. I still did that thing. I still produced videos like I told myself I would, like I wanted to. Because if your life is beautiful in so many, our lives are beautiful in many ways, and I think that let's capture that. When I hear, I have beautiful friends, and I just love when I can see them create, because it's just they're listening to what their heart's telling them now, at this moment. It's so I just admire that. And I think I take inspiration from them because of it. And every time I'm around creative people, it's affirming to me to continue doing my own creation. Creation in the form of communication, in the form of sharing. And I think it's just we're too precious to not create at this moment right now. Life and our own being is too precious to not create right now. We are worthy to create right now. We are deserving to create right now. And so the same goes for other areas, sectors of my life. I may not have the ideal job, but the opportunities I am given, maybe this is maybe being content with what's given to me. Of course, also balancing that with the openness to invite new jobs to your life or new opportunities. Of course, there's a balance being open, but also being grateful for what you do have. And I want to continue leading my life with both the gratitude for the opportunities I do have, although it may not be preferred, but being grateful for the opportunities I am given, and then simultaneously being open to something else too. But all while being open to receiving something else, just continue accepting the opportunity that you do have. Okay, that job, okay, I'm gonna take this as an opportunity. Thank you for, maybe this all the answers you're given right now. Right now with my video recording, my video making, this is all the tools I get to have right now. I have a mic, I have a camera, and I'm continuing making videos because I'm showing Spirit, thank you for all what you've given me. I'm gonna take this and show my appreciation, because when you're operating in a place of lack, of saying to yourself subconsciously, this is not enough for me to create, then all you're gonna receive is not much to create. But if you can take what you do have and show appreciation, gratitude by using the resources you have, you're saying this is enough. I'm abundant in all these ways. I'm abundant. Thus, I'm gonna create from all the abundance I have, and so you're only gonna attract that abundance, more abundance. When you operate from a place of lack, of not enough, then you're only gonna receive not enough. You're only gonna receive lack. So I think it's the same with I'm thinking of it, and lately I've been thinking about it in the form of my job, my career. It's if I'm looking at my current job and saying this is not enough, or I need something else, this is not good enough, or I just don't think it's that helpful. But if there's flexibility in that some people's lives have more flexibility in being able to wait for the opportunity. Like some people who may have different kind of bills, rent, and all that. For me, I may not be as flexible in just waiting for the opportunity to come. Because I do definitely think that there's, that it's not so bad, I guess, to wait for an opportunity to come to you. Like I don't think that's entirely closing off opportunities if you're waiting, I guess, if that makes sense. Like for people who wait for, their romantic lover to come into their life, I feel like for me, I've definitely waited for a long time. Well, maybe not so long. I'm still young, but, I think it's okay just to wait for something and not, because as long as you have trust that you'll receive, then I believe there's a possibility of you receiving, as long as you're open to receiving it. So I think it's also okay to wait for that job, as long as you keep trying, keep putting effort into getting something, and keep being open, being grateful for what you have, being grateful, and also being open to, and being grateful for the possibility, for the opportunities, for all the blessings you have right now. So it's okay to wait for that job, for that lover, for those friends. But while you wait, it's easy to sink into lack, but to observe your thoughts. Are they centered around lack? I think once they're centered around lack, of saying, I'm not gonna find this person, I'm not gonna have these friends, or it's hard to get these friends, and it's all these loops I have to go through to find someone who loves me, then I feel like we start to close our hearts when we have those kind of thoughts. But if we can be open while we're in the waiting room to receive opportunities, to receive that lover and those friends, and while we're in the waiting room, are we still being grateful for all the other things we have in life? Are we still being open? Not entirely closing our hearts. It's what I'm trying to convey is not to close our hearts while we're in the waiting room. Yeah, so I think about the things I've attracted in my life before. My current space, my current lover, and all those times it's like it was never a resistance to it. There was a level of trust, like, okay, I will meet someone eventually, and also my place now. I had this I just was waiting, but taking the steps to save up for a place and persevering and knowing that something will come along, like something, just like a lover. I'm like, someone will come along eventually. So that's where the openness played a part in those areas of my life. It's the openness to know that someone will come, and when there's a flow to your desire, you want it to flow. You don't want resistance to your desire. And even the job I currently have, it's also at the time I was like, okay, if I could just keep applying, calling these companies, like just taking all these steps while also being open, having my thoughts be open to, and knowing, okay, something will come. As long as I keep applying, something will come. As long as I keep applying, something will come. So you never want to lose hope either. You want to keep your heart open to know that something will come. You never want to close yourself off entirely. I don't think not a desire that I have received, not one opportunity or desire that I've received came when I closed my heart, when I gave up. It's almost like giving up. Closing your heart to God, to miracles, to the divine's plan. all the things I do have now is because I knew I would have it. Almost like I trusted, trusted that it can happen for me. Like, it can happen. It will eventually. I don't know when, but it will. So, it's hardest when I think, I don't know, when I'm repeating the same reality over and over again. When something's very familiar. So, like, the job that I have became very familiar. And I think with the familiarity can sometimes feel claustrophobic for me. And I don't always do well with familiarity too much. Maybe that's why I'm holding this mic and having a different background. But yeah, sometimes it'll test your patience. Let's say you're at a certain job that you prefer something else, another opportunity for a new job, or maybe you want to move, and like you're in your living situation is not ideal. Like, the longer sometimes we're in a situation, the more impatient we can become, and when we're impatient, then our hearts are not as open to receive. And that's what's testing. Like, life is very testing in that, we don't have a decision. We don't get to choose when we receive that desire. And it's so easy to start to become impatient, thus closing our hearts, when we just don't have the answer, when we're not in control of when we will receive. So it's a continuation of just being grateful, grateful for that job. Maybe it's not ideal, but grateful to be able to have some income to pay my bills, to ensure I have some security, some sense of stability. And that's where I think this is where I'm returning to at the moment. And I would ask you to ask yourself, what truth am I returning to at this moment? Something to ponder over. Or you can also ask yourself, what truth am I forgetting right now? So the truth I'm returning to is the truth of gratitude. The truth of the truth of being always supported by divine. The truth of always, that I can always feel held, that I have so much right now in this moment that I don't want to forget about. That I have so much that I can hold on to right now, and be grateful for the fact that I can hold on to these beautiful things in life, beautiful opportunities. So, yeah, life is just, I am moving through this quarter, the second quarter of the year. Happy New Year, by the way, with the spring equinox. Happy New Year. I want to start off with continuation of gratitude, by showing gratitude through holding on to all of opportunities that have been given to me by God. So with this new year, I think it's a great time to start. Even though I'm not necessarily starting a new job, but my approach to my current job is new. Or maybe it's new in the sense, just remembering my truth. And I think it's a great time to remember our truths at the start of now that's the start of this year. I think spring equinox, I remember I made a video of spring equinox. Was it a year ago, 2 years? That's crazy. I remember that. Maybe I might not title this video spring equinox, but I remember I made it. It's always a time for me to see what I can start, knowing that's Aries season. It's the beginning of the year. Like, it always gives me like this certainty of wanting to start something. This is the time to start something. That's why I love Aries season. So imagine how much we can create. I have less desire right now to distract myself. I mean, as I get, I don't know, I get less and less for the past couple months, even the last few months, maybe the beginning of the year. I just realized how disinterested I am of all the extra noise on the outside. I just want to make things happen. I've had these waves of momentum to act. And even simple as this makes me feel like at least I'm putting something out there. I just want to produce. I'm in the energy of production right now. I really am. I mean, I like to take it easy, but sometimes I just want to produce. That's why I'm just putting this video out there. I don't get as nervous, I think, when I know people that I know in real life or watch my videos. The more I just produce out there, the more it just calls me to be myself in person, like authentically myself. The thing that helps me do that, knowing that I know people in this physical realm, I watch my videos. It helps me just be my authentic self. It helps me be my authentic self with them. Sometimes I want to talk like this, but possibly because I'm tired, a little somnolent right now. So I think what I want to hope to remind people, or hope to instill some reflection to the people watching this with this new year. Now we're in a new season, a new year, and a new season, spring equinox. But this new year that started a couple of days ago, let us not be in our way, please. And that's someone who fell down more than a couple times this year. I just need to hold on to what's been given to me without being stubborn to want something. Of course we want, it's okay to want other things, other desires, other opportunities, but for me, I got in my own way. And in some ways, and I see that, like, I've been given some opportunities that is a very unique experience, has been a very unique experience. And if that's all the answers I'm given right now from God, then I'll take that and wait to receive more. Open to receive more whenever God tells me to receive more, something else. So, I hope this can help you reflect on if you've been getting in your own way in some ways. Because all of what we want can happen more smoothly when we can get out of our own way to what we want. And that's how I'm approaching this new year, is focusing on this is my desire, this is me, and creating a clear path between the two. And that's my next approach. Creating a clearer path to see through what I want to do and what I want to produce this year. So